morning, Fright fans. It is I, your ghost with the most, your happy horror host, Zach, otherwise known as Great Zamino, and I'm so grateful to everybody who's done this spiel, who puts up with me year after year. Guys, it's my favorite time of the year, with some of my favorite people in all of the world, and every year, I should say. It's Halloween time, guys, which means, as you know, it's time for Frights of Fandom. Once again, I'm Zach, otherwise known as Great Zamino. I use he, him pronouns. I am the producer slash GM slash player on a number of Flights of Fandom stuff. And I have the pleasure of playing with some really great cast members and a couple of special guests this week who are not our usual Flights of Fandom goers or FOF goers. So starting over in the top left, Chris, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
I'm Christopher. I use he, him pronouns. Do you want me to say who I'm playing as?
Yeah, sure. If you guys want to start with who you're playing as well.
I'm going to be playing Johnny Thorn, otherwise known as Delbert Thorn, but don't tell him that you know that.
Excellent. Moving down the overlay, Hopper, if you'd like to tell us about yourself and who you're playing this week.
Hello, it's me, Hopper again. I am Hopper. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm a professional arborist and game master based out of Brooklyn, New York. And this evening, I am playing Tracy Rockatansky. And my playbook is The Werewolf.
Excellent. And moving to the other side of the overlay, one of our second esteemed guest star, Jeff, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff Stormer. I am an award-winning podcaster, tabletop game designer, and content creator located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and my pronouns are he and his.
Excellent. And who should we tell people who you're going to be playing this week, Jeff?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I am playing. Let me check my notes. Jeff Stormer, an award-winning podcaster, game designer, and tabletop content creator located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or anywhere USA, whose pronouns are he and his.
Excellent. Fantastic. I'm so glad we cleared that up. Finally, rounding out our motley crew, Marcy, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, it's still me. I'm Marcy, aka Experimental Madness, which is still the username you can find me most places around the internet. I'm a writer and editor by day, and by night I play crazy characters with equally crazy, amazing people. And tonight I am playing the one, the only, the fabulous Bloberella.
Of course. Who else would you be playing? Fantastic. Guys, let me tone down the gain on my mic a little bit, and let us resume. Exactly, kind of like pick up where we're kind of starting off, which is, guys, we are playing in a special world that a lot of you guys may not be familiar with, but 1990s Zach was so excited about this show when it came on in Saturday mornings. Because it starred one of my favorite movie stars of all time, Rick Moranis, in the one-season wonder that was Gravedale High. Basically, it was a school for monsters. They had terrible punny jokes, and they had a whole student body filled with all kinds of monsters, and like both inspired by Universal and others. And inexplicably, Rick Moranis as a earnest, good guy trying to do his best, teaching a bunch of misfit monsters. So I figured it was time to revitalize and restart the tradition anew here in Frights of Fandom. And in order to do this, in order to give this a little bit of an edge, a little bit more of a contemporary spin, guys, we are playing Monsterhearts 2, a fantastic game that has been put together, published, and is authored by Avery Alder, a huge luminous figure within TTRPGs, and you should check out her work. I will also say that we are also making a few adjustments to the system, just because the tone that we are going for is more like, modern day Riverdale, chilling Adventures of Sabrina kind of style, goofy horror / faux melodrama intensity. So we're actually dialing back the sex move to just accommodate intimacy moves, and we are also incorporating safety tools where necessary to make sure that that our players here feel comfortable, and you should do the same for your players when you play Monsterhearts, because that's being a good person. So just to give you guys an idea, because this is the second season opener of Gravedale High, what we're going to be doing is we're going to show a flashback from the perspective of every character and a montage of events that transpired leading up to this finale that leads into our first series of Gravedale High Season 2. So let me put on some music and get suitably amped. One moment. Okay. Previously on Gravedale High, a new instructor found his way onto the faculty board of Gravedale High, a school for monsters isolated as both an oasis and a walled garden for creatures that go bump in the night. And the camera quickly cuts onto the new teacher introducing himself to then headmaster Schneider, who looks suspiciously alike to Jeff, with his own red bow tie and nice blazer. What does this moment look like for us, Jeff?
It looks like Jeff walks in. He's got his little briefcase. He sets it down. He's like, "Hi, I'm Jeff Stormer. I'm the substitute. I was sent in by the temp agency. Is this is like a short-term, mid-term gig? I'm really just kind of here to pay some bills. But is there something weird going on with this school? Is there a reason that all the lights are kind of red tinted?"
Staring back at you over your shoulder, you see this figure looking back at you with kind of a half smile, a very nerdy, kind of eager look on his face as Headmaster Schneider, as played by Rick Moranis, says back to you, "Oh, you don't know the half of it." Smash cut to our, I believe this was our sophomore year. What exactly do we see? Three friends brought together by coincidence, separated by destiny. And we cut to a trio of figures kind of walking, younger, kind of like a little bit more devil may care. And we see Tracy, Delbert, and Bloberella. And can you guys describe for us what this scene looks like at the very beginning of this season?
Oh, are we still friends? Like, am I moving a little bit ahead of you guys?
I mean, I feel like I am not even with anyone. I'm like trailing in the back, with a train of rats behind me, that I somehow am under the impression I can hide or play down.
You tell me, what does this look like? Like, is it just literally just like Azazel and Mobius kind of like picking up like the lead here, or what does that look like?
I think that like Johnny's not like with the other two, but he is definitely like aware of them. So like he's at his locker pretending not to look at them. And his rats sort of crowd around and he's trying to like shoo them off. And they're not going anywhere.
Excellent. Okay. So The other thing I will say is, what does Bloberella look like? Like
I'm so
walking
glad you
adjacent.
asked.
Yeah.
Bloberella is a shapeless, formless, pink-purple, gelatinous mass, and floating within is a cheerleader's uniform and a pair of sunglasses. And I think maybe like a bright, sparkly clutch. And yeah, it's just floating with it inside of the massive gelatinous blob that she is, as she elegantly slimes her way down the hallways of Gravedale High.
Excellent. Love it. And finally, who is the odd kind of bubbly figure to the kind of like to the side of this trio?
I think we see Tracy, and Tracy's wearing a hoodie, wearing like probably like some artfully tailored like camo pants, and jamming out on a to like Midwest emo music, the stuff that the old people listen to, on like some over the ear headphones, and you can see there was a recent incident that involved necessitated some flea shampoo, and it interacted really poorly with the hair dye that she had put in, and so her hair is this violent kind of like puke orange, which she is covering up with a hoodie.
And fantastic. Soon that destiny that sundered their friendship reared its monstrous head. So what does the first fight between this friend group look like? What is the first kind of like twist and intrigue?
I think like Bloberella just gets invited to sit with the cool kids table.
Who is the cool kid that asks you to sit at this table?
That's definitely Gelatina Tisarmina. My goal is to make everyone here hate me. And that's another blob she's more of a gelatinous cube, let's be fair. There are different types of blobs here at the school. Yeah, so I've definitely been invited over to hang out with the blob squad, and I do not mess this up for me. Just be normal.
Gelatina, I think, looks at you, and when, I say looks at you, there's also probably a pair of sunglasses somewhere in the middle of the larger, like, top half of this cube, looking down, and the way it speaks is kind of like this warbling, almost underwater, but also very Mean Girls, Regina King style voice, just basically saying, so why would you ever want to sit with them anyway? Smash cut to, I was going to say, Delbert, what is this year, this friend group sundered? What does this look like on your side?
I think it got sundered prior to this year, when Delbert, pre-Johnny, Delbert was going around telling everyone that he was in a metal band with his cousin who's from out of town. It's not important. And the name of the band was Darkophagus.
You mean Darkophagus?
Yes. So this was the sundering between me and Bloberella, was that Bloberella got the whole school referring to my band as Dorkophagus. And Johnny has not quite recovered from that blow since then.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think there's just like, as we kind of like take a look at your mental state, you just see like a quick cut looking back as all these rodents kind of like continue to follow you, almost making kind of like beseeching and very eerily making stares at you as they follow behind as you grow more and more isolated from your friends. And Tracy, what does this look like? As I understand it, Bloberella was your best friend.
Yeah, Bloberella was totally my best friend, and then all of a sudden she's going up and hanging out at the table with all the cool blobs. And the big moment was when some jerk suggested that I was the one that brought fleas into the school and said it loudly. And then I got a little angry. I got a little upset. And she just said nothing at all, just left. No help whatsoever.
Smash cut as a transformed Tracy. Now Max is ripping through all of the furniture in the dining hall. What does this like absolute rampage look like?
I think it looks pretty upsettingly threatening. Like there is a like a 6 foot, you going from like a, you know, like 4.5 foot tall kind of just average build high school girl to like this 6 foot tall full on jacked werewolf and chasing after I don't think I ever determined who accused me of that.
Do you think it was one of the Blob Squad?
I think somebody smaller, because I think Max tried to eat him whole. I think this did result in me getting suspended for attempting to eat another student.
I think there'd be like a quick cutaway to Johnny like watching this from a table where he sits alone and being like, I gotta get that guy in my band.
And then the voiceover kicks in, and whereas some found their place in the school rising to meet their potential, others were met with catastrophe and disaster. I think we smash cut at this point. Delbert, what did that ritual look like that you were trying to pull off?
It looked like the most trope-laden ritual you can imagine. There's like a pentagram of candles. I got some animal blood, like the whole 9 yards. I'm in a dark room, and I'm trying to beseech the actual devil to make a deal to become quote unquote a metal god. But I don't reach the devil. Instead, for reasons, I reach Zalaman, trickster demon. He's the one who hears my pleas instead, and now he is the one that I'm yoked to.
At which point I will smash cut to Jeff. You are talking to Headmaster Schneider, who is telling you, look, I have a feeling that the school's going to be in great hands as long as you were a part of it. I have to take care of something, but you know what? I got nothing but faith in you, kid. And
okay, but I do have a quick question.
Sorry, no time.
No.
Just
oh god, god. That was definitely a werewolf, though, right? Like I didn't. Oh god.
And then we smash cut to one of the robed figures, kind of associating with this demonic ritual. Pulls back the hood, reveals it to be Headmaster Schneider, who has penciled in his own name as a substitute for the soul that is paid to the devil in exchange for this rock god status, and instead requests the assistance of one minor demon, which unknown to Delbert had no idea that this happened, and you just, without even realizing it, you see that enshrouded figure of Headmaster Schneider disappear in his robes, leaving just the empty robes on the floor as we cut to seeing a strange demonic figure looming out of red darkness and parting mist and smoke and ash and brimstone to look at you, Delbert, and say, so, you want to rock, huh? We smash cut from there to see Bloberella. What does it look like when you stand undefeated or the undisputed queen of this blob squad? What did you have to do to get to the top of the heap?
I threw a killer house party, obviously, at my place. And I did it on the same night that Gelatina was going to do hers, and I knew that that's when she was going to do it. So this was an on-purpose thing. Yeah, I got, like, the entire school to come to my place, and I heard that nobody came to Gelatina's party. Yikes.
And in this,
just major loserville over there. And I like bust open the doors of a high school the next day, and I take like one little like vestigial pink purple blobbish limb, like flicks open the sunglasses, and it just slowly squelches all the way in as she struts into the building, the new Scream Queen.
Scream Queen indeed, but not before Gelatina looks at you and just says, "You better watch all of your surface area, bitch. I'll be coming for you."
You can't sit with us.
Smash cut back to Tracy. Tracy, what is this kind of defeated moment? Like, what does the end of the season look like for you post Rampage, post loss of your friends, post distancing from Delbert, and this kind of post transformation? Like, what is going through Tracy's head? What happened at the end of season 1 of Gravedale High?
There was like a weird subplot that I think got affected by some sort of writer's issue. Maybe there was a writer's strike or something. And there's a weird subplot that was supposed to be a much bigger arc, but ended up being basically a side arc that focused really heavily on Tracy and turned into her being the girl who cried wolf about a monster hunter in town. And nobody believed her for a hot minute, and then the season finale was her teaming up with her grandpa to brutally murder a pair of two brothers who had come to town to kill a bunch of people that are friends. And so I think there's like this season ended with this really heartfelt gore covered hug as Tracy finally talked about how much she missed her dad to her grandpa.
And I think at this point in this moment, your grandpa looks at you and just I think just says, "I miss him too." And before handing you a shovel, as we have the point of view shot from the bottom of 6 foot unmarked grave looking at the two of you gore covered, and it says, "Now you're really part of the family. Let's get to work." And you just see as the intro, the recap, ends up breaking to the title card, you see that first pile of dirt get thrown into the camera. And title card, Gravedale High.
I could literally see it. I saw the dirt hitting the camera before you even said it. So I'm so,
So we're going to take a look at what has been transpiring all of this time. So I think at this point, I think we have to start with Jeff. Jeff, you have been told by the district that you are to stay on the grounds, to not necessarily it's been kind of like the start of the new year, and there's been no headmaster that's shown up just yet, but you've been given the order to stand by for the new headmaster to show up at any point in the start of October. But tell me what's kind of like going through your head right now. What are you thinking of as all of the truth of this school, all of the like events of last season came to light? What does life look like for award-winning podcaster and substitute teacher Jeff Stormer?
Oh God, I'm gonna die. 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 It's fine. It's fine. Oh God, I'm gonna die. Oh God, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. It's
good. You have been, I think where we see this is you are in like the waiting room of what used to be Headmaster Schneider's office as they are pulling the nameplate off of the door, over dramatically as they're wont to do. And you just see this hulking figure in overalls, his face covered by something, that is turned away from you, pulling the name tag off and replacing it with a new nameplate that once his hulking massive form moves away from the door reads Headmistress Crone.
Okay. Hello. Hi. Jeff Stormer, substitute teacher, I guess former interim headmaster. I don't know how that happened, but I'm here if you need me. I'm gonna be probably vomiting in the bathroom for a little while, just some dry heaves. But if you need anything from me, I am here. I am ready to help. I am ready to teach. I'm ready to help some kids learn.
So here's the thing. I haven't announced the arrival of the headmistress, but do you say that? Would you say that to the custodian here, or?
I think absolutely. I think I see that the nameplate get changed. Give that entire rant, extend a hand, and then just kind of quietly go.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I'm gonna sit back down.
Yeah. At which point you just see this figure turned towards you. This hulking figure in a hockey mask that reads kind of PE teacher. You realize that this is kind of like your first hint also that the school is not doing as well as it should be because they are having to cut funding to basic functions like custodial staff. And you just see this hulking figure, has to be 7 foot tall, if not taller, looking down at you. Before righting itself, turning with his whole chest and walking out the door.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh god.
Yeah.
They really got the GE teacher working too. That's state of education today is disappointing.
Oh, there's no need to cry. You feel an iron grip, one made literally of iron, on your shoulder as a woman's prosthetic limb attaches itself onto right just to the side of your neck and just says, and you hear her say, "It's too early for that yet." And you turn and you see, as if a bolt of lightning has shot through her bright blue hair, a woman that is tall, stark, but also very gaunt and very severe in her features. And you know without a doubt that this is old Iron Hand herself, Headmistress Crone. And she looks at you and says, "Step into my new office. I presume you must be one of the substitutes."
Yeah. Jeff Stormer, substitute English teacher. Here to learn, to help the kid to learn. I teach to help the kids learn. I'm gonna go into the office now.
You realize how tall she is. Like the way that that hulking figure was, that he was 7 foot tall but standing straight. You realize that she is 7 feet tall, hunched over, and the tip of a long nose is pointed at you. Eyes that are just incredibly sunken into her head, but also beadily staring at you. Just kind of get your estimation before exclaiming, "Good! I love an eager substitute. Come in. Yes, sit. Make yourself comfortable." And she says, "So, well, I have good news and I have bad news, but I want to learn more about you, Jeff Stormer. Such a powerful name, like a tempest, yes, of which I know of many. So how was your year last year?"
There was a definite adjustment period, I would say. There was a little bit of crying in the car, but I think that's usual for a first year educational experience. It was good. I did have a little bit of trouble. I was trying to form the students tabletop RPG club, but sort of another group came in and took that over, and they were really aggressive, and I think maybe also trying to summon some sort of monster, but I mainly, it was more that they were trying to play a corporate game that mistreats its freelancers. It's a long story, but like I ran into some troubles in the extracurricular side, but I think that's just, bumps along the way, and I'm really ready to give the second year a good firm try.
Excellent. That is what we are here to hear. I do have bad news, however, because if you thought there was trouble before, there's nothing quite like what you'll see this year, for a terrifying truth has finally reared its ugly head.
Standardized testing? Are we talking about standardized testing?
That and budget cuts!
Ah!
Yes, we are in danger of losing our funding.
I really don't like that.
Yes, unfortunately, it would seem that there are some unfortunate truths about our surrounding district, which is that they tend to cut funding from the arts wherever to fund their boondoggles, yes, but especially willing to cut they are willing to cut monstrous arts and school funding for the differently abled and the differently visaged.
That's tragic. That's really, the state of modern education is in a real tragic place, and frankly, I, as someone that cares about developing young minds, am really heartbroken about this. I'm also really heartbroken about the potential of the substitute teacher budget being slashed. I'm going to commit myself to giving these kids the best I can. I know that things are being taken away, but you have my word. I am here, and I am ready to teach, and I'm ready to make a difference in some lives.
I am so glad to hear it, Jeff Stormer, but remember, not one slip-up, not any more collateral damage to school properties. This means, because of the potential you've exhibited this past year, I feel very confident in placing you in charge of your own homeroom, to which I have assigned some very special students.
I appreciate this.
Middle of the speech, as you're talking, she slams down a dossier, old style, a bunch of photographs spilling out, 3 of which at the top are 3 of the problem students of which she speaks. Yes! Let us take a look at these students together, but first, I ask that you mind the former friends, now perhaps antagonists, perhaps merely acquaintances. Tracy Rockatansky, Delbert Thorn, and one Bloberella Blobinstein. And we smash cut out of this room to find each of you in the start of your sophomore year. It is, I believe you guys have just arrived on the student grounds. So let's go one by one. What does it look like now compared to the recap? Like, where are you guys feeling in your second season? Like, what do you guys look like? What is the attitude going in? Let's start with Delbert, or should I say Johnny Thorn?
You should say Johnny. I think Johnny is sort of like in the middle of this arc where like it is unclear what the results of the ritual are ultimately going to be for him, but he is in the middle of this sort of like fake it till you make it transformation, where he is genuinely becoming like a darker persona. It helps to be followed by a small horde of rats, which he used to be in denial about, and he's like slowly resigning himself to that. So he sort of like walks onto campus, and I didn't really give a mental image of him before, but I would describe his aesthetic as Chris Gaines stars in The Matrix. For anyone who doesn't know who Chris Gaines is, I'm not going to ruin the surprise for you. Please Google it. Do yourself a favor. But Chris Gaines stars in The Matrix would be the look of this guy as he walks with self-conscious slowness onto campus. Next to him, though, is a taller and much handsomer guy who is much, much more at ease with himself and less self-conscious, and is sort of like, uh, I don't know, lending a little bit of his air of coolness to Johnny. Um, but Johnny's pulling a little bit more of his own weight than he would have been last year.
Yeah, there is the smell of what you think is cigarette smoke coming from your good pal Zalaman. But as you look over, you just realize his skin is smoking. And the smoke is kind of coming off of it as the last kind of patch of like bright red skin kind of dulls to a pink luster as he kind of, comes out of his most infernal state to kind of like blend in with the student body, just only the slightest bit. And he says, "So, you remember what I told you about being nonchalant, right?"
Yeah. I mean, I'm like the least chalant that I've ever been, I feel like. How am I doing?
Good. That's what we like to see, man. So, you got this from here, right? Like, I have faith that you got this.
Yeah.
What's the plan again?
To be nonchalant.
Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, no, that was the next thing I was gonna say. Battle of the Bands.
You want to be a rock god? You gotta make it on the small stage. Then once you got the potential, man, you're just gonna knock their socks off. You let that little contract speak for itself. Whole world's gonna hear what you got to say, man. Yeah.
And then I sort of like stare into the middle distance, and I'm like, yeah.
I have to ask you. So you have this horde of rats behind you. So are they following you silently or like squeaking, or do they actually speak or talk to you?
I think that they don't speak. And I don't think that they squeak. I think they just sort of move as a sort of gray fluid mass behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you mentioned a moment where they sort of strike like a supplicant pose. I think that's their usual thing, that they're sort of like mirroring what's going on inside of me, which then makes it very difficult for me to hide what's going on inside of me because they're aping it.
Mm-hmm. And well, here's the funny thing is when you turn after this speech from Zalaman, you see a simulacra, a gray mass of what looks like an aspiring kind of like idealized version of yourself holding a guitar, belting out a lick. And you realize that the rats have formed a kind of like living statue out of you before unsettlingly breaking out into their constituent rat forms, and then once again striking the supplicant pose behind you.
Fucking metal, man.
And you head into your very first course after study hall, which in this case is homeroom with Jeff Stormer. So the camera winds its way through the hallways, and we find ourselves kind of looking through and then pulling back and alighting on the translucent form of Bloberella Blobenstein. What does it look like when you start this sophomore year, or junior year rather?
Yeah, I think that the camera goes down the hall and then maybe into the girls' restroom, and there's like Bloberella standing by the mirror, in all of her pink, purple, blobby glory, and she's sort of like morphed her way up so that she can like face herself in the mirror, and it's just very much, all right, you worked so hard last year to get to this position. You're gonna make it work, bitch. You've got this school, and it's yours. And you are gonna stay on top. That's right. We're staying on top. That's it. No one's challenging us. We're not gonna take bullshit from anybody. We are gonna make it fucking work. Somebody tries to like come in and she's like, I didn't say you could come in yet. And like this poor like person just like, oh my god, just completely runs away, and she just continues monologuing to herself there in the mirror. It's like, look at you. You're the hottest bitch in this entire school. No one's got anything on you. And you can't let them see any weakness. No weaknesses! And like the whole form just sort of ripples. And it's like, and like two little forms appear out of the blob mass and just, you've got this. And tosses, but she has no hair, but it's just like a little bit of the gelatinous mass that's sort of making maybe the headspace. It's really hard to tell with Bloberella like what is anything. And inside is a crisp floating head cheerleader outfit now, just floating in the translucent gelatin, and she is like, yeah, we've got this. And she
Wait, I have a
moves away.
sorry, quick clarifying question about Bloberella.
Yes.
This cheerleader outfit, is it like in a humanoid arrangement, or are all the pieces just floating at random?
They're just floating. Like they're like pressed. They're not like crumpled into a ball. Like, but they are just floating. Like throughout the day, it just changes position. That, the sunglasses, like whatever purse she has that day. You know, it's all there. Any bracelets, any accessories, it all just floats.
So kind of
Everything
lava
floats
lamp-esque.
Yes, I in fact am a lava lamp.
Love it. Absolutely love that. Yes. And
You know that Bloberella has done that costume once for Halloween. In fact, like she has been a lava lamp.
excellent. I was gonna say you exit the restroom. Outside awaiting you are, of course, the Blob Squad. If you would be so kind as to tell us who they are and what they all look like.
Yeah, of course. Well, we have Titania Oublette, who is an Ooblex, who looks like the most human among us, kind of like a mousy looking, unassuming woman. However, if you like look slightly behind, you'll see like the slimy strings and the other like greenish formless mass that's actually Titania that's puppeting her. And then of course there is Gelatina, who has now been demoted. I did this just to see how many times people would facepalm. Yes, there's Gelatina, who I think we can safely say is my Starscream. She's still there, the gelatinous cube, no longer head blob in charge. And then there's Ubri, who is mostly like Bloberella, but blue instead of pinkish purple. And we are the Blob Squad.
Excellent. I love it. You all kind of like slither. I don't like just slide down the hall.
It's like a slide, or you could do a step. Like Titania can walk.
Yeah.
Because again, she's puppeting a human. It's weird.
Yeah.
But we sort of make it work. Like
It's a glide.
whatever. It's a graceful dance.
Yeah, absolutely. And you all slide, and you see the one kind of human form kind of like just like very inartfully kind of like do a hair flip on the one side of you guys as you move all of you down to your homeroom.
Yeah, don't make me be the bad guy. Just start spontaneously playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you find yourself in the homeroom of one Mr. Jeff Stormer.
As the blobs start coming in, I'm like holding my coffee cup and just like, so
are all of the blobs in homeroom with us, or are they just dropping me off?
That is a very good question. What is most interesting to everybody? Are they dropping Bloberella off, or are they part of the homeroom as well?
I think it's interesting if there's time in which they're not under Bloberella's thumb to for Gelatina to sow discord.
Yeah.
So I think they're
But-
just dropping Bloberella. So like we open the door and we're like, okay, kisses. All right, bye, bitch. You bitch. Oh my god.
And I watch these blobs all just like move around. I'm like, oh well, that one's not. Oh, that one's actually the worst of them all. Oh my god.
I love the random cat is now apparating
Yeah.
into the homeroom.
One of our other new NPCs, or our fifth player character, I should say. Okay, and then from this kind of drop off, this moment of the queen mending to her or tending to her worker bees, we are going to shift focus and once again smash cut. Where is Tracy Rockatansky as she is making her way to homeroom?
I think Tracy is what time is it? Roughly?
It is going to be roughly 10 a.m. at the start of homeroom. This is essentially your first like official kind of like check-in of the day. The first hour is typically like a study hall for juniors because you guys can make your schedules a little bit. Or alternately, if you'd like to have had a class, you could have come from that, Tracy.
I think Tracy has band practice in the morning,
Okay, excellent.
but not the cool kind, the marching band.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what is your band instrument?
That I had not gotten that far. I think it's probably something that's she's pretty small, so I think it's kind of funny if it's like a tuba, but I think it might be a French horn. I don't
Okay.
even know if that's in a marching band.
Excellent. All right, definitely.
It's a bass French horn.
Bass French horn. Okay. Awesome. Wait, isn't that just a tuba?
A bass French horn. I mean,
Pretty
even if it's
much.
not in a regular band, the question is it in a monstrous band?
Yeah, true. I will tell you this, Tracy, you are getting changed out of. I mean, would you guys change into band uniform? Like I never had band. I was in strings. What was this like for you guys when you did band? Anyway.
Bold of you to assume I ever did anything of the sort. I went to like 8 different high schools, Zach.
That is fair. Okay.
I was in drama, if you couldn't tell.
I was in a series of extracurriculars for a short period before not getting formally kicked out of them, but each individual one of them gave me the, hey, actually, you're good. We're actually not gonna meet for a little while, and then proceeded to meet without me.
God
Oh
damn.
man, yeah.
Ouch.
We're gonna cycle back to that at some point.
Holy. Oh, Jeff.
Anyways, I think that Tracy has just thrown on a really over the top. What do we think the Gravedale High marching band uniform is? Is it like
It's gotta be like a
extremely
green and
old-timey?
black, right?
Yeah, it's
Gotta
like-
be green and black. Gotta be green
Yeah,
and black.
green, black. Like I'm basically picturing it's school colors plus the My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
picturing
Oh,
specifically
yeah.
the black. It's got to be the Black Parade, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Now the question is it designed to sort of look like zombie rags, or are you like in pristine garments?
Well,
I think I don't think anybody's. I think there's like 8 different options to choose from. It's from military uniforms from across the era,
Yes.
at different eras. So I think Tracy specifically is that of like a French grenadier from like the 1790s.
I love it.
I love that they're just. Oh my god, that's fantastic. Okay, yeah. So
what is our mascot? Do we want to decide that?
I was gonna say,
A revenant.
yeah, exactly. It's a revenant. Absolutely, it is.
Oh, I was gonna say it was a chipmunk, like something just like it's
Oh,
like
Jeff.
released.
It would
About
be funny.
a revenant chipmunk.
Yeah, like
Oh,
okay.
A revenant chipmunk who has like the little like Dark Souls shield and helmet, but it's obviously on a chipmunk.
But, yeah, like it's got the big striped tail and like the cheeks.
Yeah.
The
A rev
cheeks are
monk,
puffing out
if
from
you
under.
will.
I was thinking it's a rip monk, like R.I.P. monk.
Oh,
better. That's
yeah,
better.
There it
yeah,
is. That's the
okay.
name.
Monk.
That's
Go
fantastic.
Rip
That's it. That's his name, Rip Monk.
Rip
Go
Monk.
Rip Monks.
Mascot. Yep.
Is it Rip Monk the Chipmunk or
Rip Monk the Chipmunk, baby.
Okay, so it's the Gravedale Chipmunks.
So I'm gonna head out. This has been a good stream. Bye, everybody.
Oh my
That's
god.
what did it for you.
Excellent. Actually, Tracy, as you are, so you have been given, actually, you would have been like practicing in uniform, or band uniform rather, in as part of a dress rehearsal, as coming up at the start of October, which is obviously the biggest month in the whole school year for Gravedale High. Coming up this month, however, is the pep rally, the Spirit Week of Gravedale High, as you guys get ready to play your rival football team on the field. So I won't ask for bonus points who that rival football team is. Maybe we'll figure that out later.
I already have pitch.
Oh yeah, what's the pitch?
Is it the Van Helsing High Hunters?
Yes, yes, the Van Helsing High Hunters.
God damn it.
Yes,
Their mascot is like an Elmer Fudd. Is like Elmer Fudd.
yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, like it's Elmer Fudd with mutton chops.
Yep.
And a bunch of Christian iconography.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Remind me, I am furiously writing Cheers now that I know what the mascot is.
Go fighting
This will
Rip
become
Monks.
important later.
Give me an R. Give me an I.
P, what's that spell? Excellent. So Tracy, you are in the locker room. You are changing out of like those old kind of moldy band uniforms. And I think that you get immediately the hairs on the back of your neck stand up as you sense preternaturally the arrival of your kind of high school rival, now that you no longer have the assistance or the support of Delbert and Bloberella. Who is this rival?
Oh, is this like my arch nemesis, or is this like somebody? Define level of rival. Is this my arch rival?
I will say that this is probably
Is
like
this the person that I'm like,
yeah,
God.
yeah. What? Well, let me ask you. Like, is this person like trying to make your life a living hell, or
No,
is
I
this?
think it's.
Yeah.
I think this person is just some guy. Just some guy. You know, so one of the funniest things about Disney villains
Mhm.
is that they're all like witches and warlocks and magical people, and then you've got exactly two people who aren't that, and that's colonizing Englishmen and some dude. Gaston is literally just a man.
Okay. All right.
I feel like that's the energy. Like, this is somebody who constantly makes my life hell, and I don't know, is there just like a rando normie here, and does everybody love him and I hate him?
George.
Yeah. Let me ask you. Like
George.
George.
His name is George, and everybody thinks he's the best.
All
He
right.
fucking bakes.
What is it about George that absolutely nettles you?
I think he constantly smells like maybe wolfsbane. Like, listen here, you little shit, I know what you're doing.
Okay.
I know I'm not supposed to say this about students, but George pisses me off. Little shit.
And what is it about the manner? Is it just like this smugness, or what is it that
I think George is the nicest possible version of Gaston. George just shows up and is very nice, and everybody likes him, and just absolutely like he's the person that shows up and takes all the credit for the group project, does do work, but takes all the credit for the group project, and constantly gets like, I think, just sucks all the air out of the room all the time. And Tracy, I think, has had enough. Like, after the third group project, and then after the Model UN,
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, so I think also very important question. What instrument does George play?
What's the prima donna instrument of marching band? I have no idea.
God. Oh, I think that's probably the baton master, right?
Yeah.
Like the person that keeps the rhythm of the marching band. Yeah, absolutely. This is the guy that spins the baton. Yeah. So you just see. He just says, I think that I'm trying
Chat says George's dad owns all the used car lots in town.
Yes.
I think he can only talk like from the movie in just lyrics, so it's just no one whatever like George,
Like George.
though.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait. If he talks,
Definitely refers to himself in third person.
Yes.
Hey, George, doing great today. How are you doing, Tracy? That smell of wolfsbane enters your nostrils.
Hi, I'm doing fine. Hi. Can I help you? Do you need something?
I just wanted to, what was it? George just wanted to tell you that you're just really killing it on that horn out there. I know.
Great. I was really looking forward to your approval today.
Excellent. Good to hear it. I am so stoked for Spirit Week, or George is so stoked. God, I hate doing that.
Yeah, I think in the background, all of Johnny's rats bare their teeth simultaneously.
Hey, that's weird. Cool. All right, so we got a Spirit Week coming up. I want to see you bring your A. George wants to see you bring your A game, Tracy. Does Tracy have what it takes to bring the A game?
I guess we're gonna find out.
There is just a cold, dead set of eyes behind this massive ear-to-ear smile. It sounds like what you're trying to do is to shut George down.
It is.
I would like you to roll with cold for our first roll of the night, finally.
That sucks. He was trying to psych you up and everything.
Fuck that guy.
Nah, I'm team fuck George. I hate George.
Yeah,
All my homies hate George. And by all my homies, I mean the faculty at the school.
I like how everyone loves George. Don't worry about it. And then everyone here is like, but except for us, though.
Understandably so. Oh.
And so I'm rolling 2d6 and then adding my cold, which is in this case -1.
Excellent. I love
Shock
it.
gasp. The werewolves with self-control issues is not good at self-control.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That is a 6 and a fuck -1 for a 6.
Oh, no. Okay, so hard move. Okay. So I think that George just kind of looks one way or the other and just looks to make sure that there's nobody in earshot and just brings his teeth gritted like close to your like within like closer to earshot, and that wolf's bane starts like bringing like just really smelling up into your nostrils, and you hear him say, George doesn't like your attitude right now. George needs Spirit Week to go off with a hitch if George is gonna set the tone right for the Battle of the Bands and the Spirit Social, okay? Does Tracy understand what George is laying down?
Oh yeah, Tracy gets it really fucking good. Tell me, does George like having a fucking face?
At which point he pulls back and there's just this wide smile and eyes that just pierce through yours that just tell you, like, try it. And before saying, all right, good talk, George is out. And yeah.
Johnny like leans down and goes, like real quiet, like Azrael. And one of the rats comes up and he like leans down and goes, eat that motherfucker's bag lunch.
And you just see this Azrael take off, following very closely behind Johnny. Or not Johnny, behind George. Okay. And from there, I'm going to give you, I think we need to give you a condition. I'm going to say your condition for this is going to be enraged.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that we managed to we crowdsourced someone who actually makes me want to tear someone's face off into existence.
Oh, the best part is like you guys created this person whole cloth. I already have a backstory for him. So this is going to be fun. All right. So off of this meeting, let me ask you this. Johnny stuck up for you. What do you do there? How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, Johnny didn't so much. Did Tracy hear this? I do. I will say. I will let you guys know that I took one of the moves. One of the 2 moves I took is heightened senses.
Okay.
Oh.
Then yeah, I feel like
Okay.
you probably definitely heard that, right?
Yeah, I don't think that Johnny intended for you to hear. I think he was being subtle. But if you heard him, then
So what I guess this depends on what do we think the falling out between, because it seems like the falling out was between all of us, not just what do you think the actual falling out between Johnny and Tracy was?
well, I mean, Johnny has a longtime crush on Tracy. I could see it being that he never said that, but Tracy pieced it together, and maybe the awkwardness just sort of slowly drove them apart over a long period of time.
Yeah, like that kind of oh, okay. Yeah, I think Tracy just kind of just gives you what in theory could be cool, but we're in high school, so comes across as incredibly cheesy. Just gives you a finger gun on the way out the door.
Cool.
I give you the horns.
It's
just also extremely cool.
Love it.
It's not though. Yikes.
Now this is all happening in the homeroom, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will say this actually. Let's smash cut back to Jeff, in the moments before everybody kind of came in and settled. I'm imagining you're all misfit but semi good students. You're all probably either a little early.
Did I hear misfit? You did not just say that to the head bitch of this school. I know that's not true.
No one fits more than me.
I literally can't fit in anything.
Oh my God, this is so true. All right, perfect. Okay, you are on time, Bloberella. You are there.
I'm probably fashionably late.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're there with pseudopods on. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. It's when that cast your minds back to high school. The warning bell would ring. She's not there yet.
All right.
Just as that bell rings, that would make her tardy. She has one appendage in through the door, so you can't give her attention.
It's actually funny you say that, because I was going to say that is exactly when Solomon arrives as well. That's his timing strategy as well.
Yeah, and I will say that Solomon struts in and does the thing where you normally see a kind of a teacher do it, where they spin the chair back to sit into the front of the chair. But he also kind of does it in a really kind of cool, kind of bisexual way, where it's half draped across the chair a little bit languidly. I was gonna say, yeah, I think it makes that move look cool, is the big kind of thing. All right. So
who is that?
Yeah, you guys have not seen this guy ever before.
Yeah.
This seems like a new student. Before we kind of get into that, though, I want to cut back to Jeff. Jeff, you've had this very bracing talk with Headmistress Crone. Where's your head at right now?
So here's where I'm at. As I watched that scene with George unfold. I'm watching all of this, and like I'm pacing back and forth, and I watch this piece by piece, and I think like I'm breathing. We see the crumpled paper bag that I've been breathing into in my desk. And like I finally watched the scene with George and Tracy and Delbert play out. And you see a moment where I'm just like I'm stiff as a board, and then I look and I kind of turn around and I just mutter to myself, "Oh, they're nerds. Oh, I got this. They're a bunch of dweebs. Okay, yeah, this is fine."
I will not stand for this.
I turn back around.
Technically stand for anything?
I mean, I can stand on anything.
And I finally spin back around. I'm like, is this everybody? Is everybody here? Should I go ahead and give us the whole teacher introduction thing? I guess that's well, hello class. It is a pleasure to meet everybody. We'll go around and give introductions. Let me just go ahead and my name is you can just call me Jeff.
What is happening?
That is amazing. Yeah. Go.
You could just call me Jeff. I don't like Mr. Stormer. It's not my favorite, but just call me Jeff. I am your homeroom teacher, and I'm here to make this. I know that high school. Well, I'm probably not allowed to say that high school sucks. I think that's not a thing your teacher is supposed to say. But like, it sucks, and I'm here to make it suck as little as possible.
And you just hear just like a quiet clapping from this very kind of seemingly very pale kid towards the back that's just kind of clapping. He's got a button-up shirt that's buttoned all the way up to the top button. He's reed thin, has lank blonde hair, and he's just like, and just kind of clams up when nobody also kind of accompanies that.
Did you just do a voice? Because I think your noise gate caught every single word of that.
Oh yeah, if you did a voice, I'll be
whatever you did was so fucked up that your microphone was like, no, thank you.
No. I didn't say anything. I was just doing.
Oh, thank you.
It was.
I was genuine.
It was literally just like a quiet clap that just was not.
Oh,
picked
I saw
up
your
by the
mouth
rest of the
move
class
for a second and thought that you were doing a thing, and was like, "Oh my god, what noise is Zach making right now?"
I think there's like a beat after the clapping that's just long enough to be awkward, and then Johnny is like, "What do you teach?"
I'm the substitute English teacher. I've been brought in with a background in theater and radio.
So what movie are we watching today then? We can just skip to that part.
Well, I was gonna do introductions. We are watching a movie, but I was gonna skip and wait till introductions before we did that. So you know what? Now we're not. Now we're having a chit chat. If somebody wants to be mouthy or flappy or wobbly, I'm not sure what the logistics.
You want to rethink whatever it is that you're about to say, Mr. Jeff? Whatever.
My name is Hank.
Hey, Hank. Hello, Hank. How are you today, Hank?
I'm good. It's nice. I like autumn.
What is Hank? I need to know.
Hank is that slim kid in the back. Around the aisles, by the way, you will see that there is somebody that apparently is a human fly. There is also somebody who is dressed in incredibly kitschy clothing, but you have to assume that it's somebody because it's only the clothing that you can see, because whatever form is supporting them is completely transparent. There is a very chic looking person who is on their phone constantly and talking with a very stiff vocal fry about how much she can't wait to see everybody on her Insta. And then you have who has remarkably pale skin, and even paler from the sheer amount of sunscreen that has been applied to it. In addition, there is a veiled girl towards the middle of the classroom that has a bundle of snakes snapping out from behind the veil. The veil itself semi-opaque, just kind of like following everything, but also kind of like moving and undulating slightly for no reason. Then you kind of, your gaze turns down and you realize her lower half is the kind of the body of a snake. So it's a very eclectic crew that is assembled here.
I desperately need to know what the interaction between head snakes and rat posse is.
That is a very good question, Johnny. What does that look like?
I think what would Snake Person do? I think that would be the first move, and then I would react to it.
You know what? I'm gonna have you roll for the rat. Roll to keep your cool. It depends on what the rat's gonna do. Yeah.
Well, my cold is -1, so
let's do it.
That's gonna be a 3 total.
Oh, this poor rat. This poor rat, I think, scrambles up onto the shoulder of this figure, and you just see it catch a glance through kind of like a little chink in the veil, and you see the rat seize up, solidify, petrify into graystone, fall off the shoulder, and smash into a dozen pieces.
And Johnny goes, Mobius! But then another rat comes running out of the pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, good. I thought something happened to you.
Excellent. Yeah, like I will say this. I've outlined some people in the class. Are there anybody that you guys recognize in addition to Zalman, who is this actually describe Zalman for me, again, like what does he look like? Is he like more demonic? What is this kind of like, how does this transmit?
I actually think Zalman presents as entirely human, like in the way that George would. Like I think that is part of like his strategy for having fun tormenting me.
Mm-hmm.
That he's gonna, like, I'm trying so hard to be so cool and metal. He's gonna show up as like someone totally normal and still be cooler than me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
But I'm imagining like tall with like frosted tips, and just like regular ass jeans and t-shirt, like nothing special about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just very charismatic. Has just kind of like this look of nonchalance that he's been practicing with you, but he has perfected. And just like completely unruffled feathers, the whole nine. Does anybody else like recognize anybody in the class that they would be friends with or that they would know of?
I don't know if anybody would be friends with this student or know them, but there is one student that I need to establish. Just before the bell rings and Bloberella and Solomon come in, PE teacher Coach Voorhees did wheel in a chalkboard, and like we see it from the back, and at first Jeff is like, "Oh great, there's no chalkboard," and then turns it around and there is a Babadook drawn on the chalkboard that is just sitting extremely studiously, like fingers in front of the mouth, like.
I gotta jump on that. You know that's Bloberella's ex from last semester.
Oh, absolutely.
The chalkboard wheels over and the two of you actually, you know what, let's see what happens. The chalkboard wheels over and the two of you lock eyes. What does Bloberella do?
I pretend not to know him.
I mean, he was last year's flavor, so I have advanced. Ooh, okay, all right.
So I have a very important question.
Yeah.
PE coach Jason Voorhees, is he also the coach for the cheerleading squad? This is important.
That is a question only you can answer.
It has to be yes, because I'm just picturing him working so hard with these kids, doing very stiff-bodied motions of what he wants them to do, and it is magical.
Do you think he just holds up cue cards with the chair?
Hey, Hollywood, get at me! I've got the script going for the next Friday the 13th movie.
I love it.
But please imagine Jason in the green and black tracksuit.
Yeah,
I am doing it.
Yeah, I think couple things. So I need to resolve a couple of roles. It sounds like. First off, you saw this supernatural Babadook figure kind of move inside of the chalkboard. Jeff, I need you to roll to keep your cool.
All right, I will. Let me pop out some dice. Somehow I didn't think I was gonna need dice for this game.
Guys, this is the most fun I've had in a game in ages.
Can I insert one more student while Jeff finds his dice?
Yeah, absolutely. What you got?
I think my new crush, because I'm trying to, leave Tracy behind because that seems like a non-starter. My new crush is Ring Girl, like the girl from The Ring.
Sadako, all right.
So she's sitting in one of the desks, but like rigidly forward, like gripping the desk portion with the hair hanging down over her face, and she doesn't move or speak to anyone.
Yeah.
And she's my new main squeeze.
Excellent. Excellent.
She's so cool. She's so effortlessly cool. How does she do that with her hair and everything?
Yeah.
So jealous. I mean, Sadako, I love it. I love this look for you. I think it's like, it's a look. That's what it is.
So my keep it cool was a 9.
As a 9? Okay.
Wow.
All right. That's pretty good. I will tell you this. On a 7 and 9, the MC will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. I will tell you this, is you get your bearings. You step backwards, I think, a little bit. But you, like, if you step back to kind of catch your footing and to steady yourself, you back right into Coach Voorhees.
Oh, I'm back into Coach Voorhees. That's obviously happening.
Yeah. Foomp. You just literally... You feel like you have backed into a brick wall as this hulking behemoth just stands behind you, just kind of like staring down with the overalls. And once again, I think if you were to turn around and look, he would be staring down at you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes. My apologies, Coach Voorhees. Hello. I got to teach my class. Good day to you.
And you just see a moment where, and then once again he rights himself, turns with his full body and walks out the door. But as before, you see him leave, and as you kind of turn to face the class again, you hear Jeff. And as you look around, you just see poking his head out the side of the doorway, Jason. And then as soon as you spot him, and just like kind of like once again kind of like leaves your field of view.
It's gonna be a long year. Well, hello, class. Glad everyone is here. We are watching a film, but we are also studying a story. I have my lesson plan. We are studying Arthur Miller's classic The Crucible. So if everybody could, I'm gonna who do I want to hand out? Who is sitting in the very front of the class? Who am I handing a stack of books to? Is it Bloberella?
You front and center, baby.
I put the books in. All right, yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna be so glad you handed me these in just a second.
I put the books in front of you. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna pick the first What?
It's alphabetical.
I really don't. Can you hand
Can you handle this?
Can you hand these out to the students? I need
Are you like
you should
good?
can you? Oh, you know what? Yes. Can you distribute these to the students, please? And I
Yeah,
kind
sure.
of like drop them. I
No
kind of drop
problem.
them like, kind of
I
like
subsume them.
kind of the equivalent of trying to drop them like in front of you, but because you're the blob, it just kind of they all just kind of sink, and I'm like, oh, I really.
You put them on my desk, and then what Bloberella does is just like.
Oh, I really hope those are waterproof. I probably should have.
And you know, she gets up and you know, slides around the class and just pushes each copy of the book out. And you know, as they do come out, they're pristine. They're totally fine.
Well, all right then. That's a huge relief. I'm glad to know that.
Did you like think I was eating them? Like, what is? Have you not seen this before?
I am new to the school.
You've got a lot to learn, Mr. Jeff. And I'm just gonna go around handing books out, and I'm like, Dorkbert, and I like sort of drop it. I push it, just a scooch off that desk for you. And Tracy, I do not acknowledge you. I just hand you your book and keep on going. And Zalman, I just slide the book over. I'm like, hey, I don't think I've seen you around here before.
Hey, yourself. Nice to meet you. And
I'm Bloberella.
I'm Zal. Or you can call me Z for short.
I will I'll call you whenever I want, maybe. I'm just over there on that desk.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Ooh, I'm gonna definitely make up a reason that I'll need you. Don't worry about that. And I'm gonna ooze my way on back to my desk.
I
definitely
Johnny,
forgot. I definitely forgot to distribute all of the rest of the books to everybody else.
So they're still floating around.
So, all right. So there's a couple things we need to do. So it sounds like you are trying to either shut down Tracy or to keep your cool. The second thing I will do is it looks like you are trying to turn on Zalman.
I mean, correct.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me those two rules. Those two
Which
rules.
one would you like first?
Actually, this is a question: is it you shutting down Tracy, or is it Tracy keeping her cool?
Yeah, I'm not sure I was trying to do really anything with Tracy. I think it's more of like.
I think if anything, you were shutting down me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'll tell you what, let's split in the middle. Let's just give me a roll for hot for turning on Zalman.
Okay. Hell yeah, baby. That's gonna be a 9.
Okay. On a 9, they can 7 to 9, they can either give you a string or choose one of the reactions. I give myself to you, I promise something I think you want, or I get embarrassed and act awkward.
Probably not that last one, huh?
No,
Yeah.
it's definitely not that last one.
Mm-hmm. So, do you make a promise, or do they give you a string?
I did technically just promise that, like, I will call. Like, I want them digits.
Mm-hmm.
I want those numbers.
Them digits.
We could call that a promise, or we can call that giving a string.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that is a nice little promise of a future interaction. And it is on this note where Zalman, the thing that really kind of like throws you, Bloberella, is the fact that when Zalman looks at you, there's not any sense of like being intimidated. There's no sense of kind of like awkwardness. This is somebody that is absolutely 100% comfortable in their skin and supremely confident.
Oh, I do like that in a man. And I did this in front of my ex. I'm just realizing that because that was a new addition into this canon.
Yeah. And not only that, you did that in front of Johnny. Johnny, you just saw your old like friend, like this new entity that has entered your life as like a mentor or like whatever they are. You watch them just effortlessly pick up kind of a rapport with a friend that you used to treasure. So on this moment, we're going to move into break. But before we do, I think just Jeff, like you're watching this interplay between all of the different students and what's going on. And at the top of your lesson plan, circled and like with a question mark and several exclamation points, is Spirit Week written at the top. And it is on that note, we're going to take a 10-minute break. And we'll see you guys in just a little bit. And you guys have a lot of work ahead of you. But before we leave the homeroom and we get into the actual practice of building stuff for Spirit Week, is there anything you guys want to do or scene-wise here in the homeroom? Any kind of like side bits or intros you want to do? We are all game at this point.
I think the only thing that Jeff wants to do is just say like, class, just a reminder, I am the junior class Spirit Week advisor. If you need anything as you are planning the various Spirit Week events, I am here. I am a resource. I am ready to help you. However, we want to make this Spirit Week a rousing success. We really want to bring it to light. Make it great. Make it great.
And you just hear from the back from this one figure in like a greaser haircut and a leather jacket. Oh, that was a close one, wasn't it there, Teach?
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine. Class dismissed.
And
I think the only other thing that I want to do, I think this is in response to what happened before the break, where Solomon and Bloberella are like starting to hit it off. So I'm gonna go sit next to Samara, Ring Girl, who's currently not registering anyone else in the room, just sitting at her desk. I go and sit in the empty desk next to her, and my rat horde sort of piles itself up next to me, like up to eye level, sort of like this shape, also looking at Samara. And I'm just like, hey.
And then you just hear her nails on the wood of the desk as she kind of like wrenches them. And then in a shift akin to a movie frame blinking in and out and skipping a few frames, you just see her body shift and turn and lean forward as if to like look at you.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard, but I got this band, Darkophagus, and I was just seeing if you do you want to be in my band?
This is a move. So
yeah, this is actually an attempt at an intimacy move.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
Because that's how intimacy works for Johnny, is that he is trying to get people into his band.
Okay. So read for me the intimacy move. Like, what do you need to do, and what is the result here? What does success or failure look like?
I mean, all that happens is like we can decide like what the role would look like, but if I'm successful, what happens is that Zolomon, Zolomon loses a string on me and gains a string on whoever I'm doing this with.
Okay.
That's the reward if I can do it, but that's if I can do it.
Okay. All right. So I think this is rolling with hot, is what it sounds like.
Unfortunately, I agree, even though my hot is -1.
I believe in you. What you got?
That's a 7 -1.
Oh, buddy. Okay. I think there is just this moment, like almost like a stutter of kind of like the step behind, and like once again that stutter in that step in reality shifts, and you realize that she has left the desk when you like look, and has turned to face away from you, and has put her bag onto her shoulder and onto her back, and is stutter stepping away from you in that same way. So it's gonna be a no.
All right. My rat pile next to me just collapses.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you I am also gonna give you a condition here, which in this case is just discouraged. Yeah, I think this is kind of like a blow to this nonchalance and ego that you are trying to build up for yourself, this self-image. What does this look like for Johnny or Delbert? I guess Delbert when you're losing, and Johnny when you're winning. So
yeah, it's definitely Delbert right now.
Yeah.
Internally, I think I know that we were just dismissed from homeroom, but I think Johnny like pulls up the hood of his sweatshirt, and like goes to like lay his head on his desk, and the rats pour up from the floor and like form a pillow. And he like
I start to walk towards Delbert, see that, pause, like, and then make my way the rest of the way over. Sit. Hey, buddy, everything okay?
No.
You doing all right? You want to talk about it?
Inexplicably, I don't say anything. I just throw up the horns.
And I throw up the horns right back. You like music?
Yeah.
What kind of music? What's your favorite band?
And this I do sort of come to life at that question. And I'm like, I really like metal. Like, do you know Korn? Not like the food.
With
like
the
band.
K, for sure.
Yeah.
I know Korn. Who else do you like?
Do you know Slipknot?
I am familiar with Slipknot. Listen. Can I make you a recommendation? Can I give you an album that I think is really gonna blow your mind?
Yeah, whatever.
Another band that goes pretty hard, and I reach into my bag and I pull out a CD. This is from a little group that I like a lot. They're called the Bare Naked Ladies. You check that out.
Oh, it was better than what I was imagining.
Oh my god.
And I think I look at the album and I'm like, what? There's a band called Naked Ladies.
Bare Naked Ladies. They're from Canada.
Are they like metal?
They go pretty hard, if I do say so myself.
And I sort of like look around to see like, are there any other students left in the room?
That's a great question.
I'll fill this to you guys. Are Tracy and Bloberella still around, or have you guys left?
That depends. Did Solomon leave?
I think as soon as Solomon saw Sadako leave, he kind of like threw a glance askance at Delbert, and then just very coolly, very like in one fluid motion, picked himself up from the desk and followed after.
If the rest of the cool people are gone, then Bloberella is out of there.
Okay. What about...
I'm exchanging numbers.
Tracy also fucked off as fast as possible.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry, did you just say his number is 6666666?
Yeah, pretty much.
That'll be easy to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, just so
you mean Solomon's number?
Yeah.
You gotta get the area.
It would definitely be 69696969.
Oh no, that's fair.
Nice.
If we're alone, if it's just me and Jeff in the room, I think I would like scan to make sure that we're alone, and then like very slowly reach out and accept the offer of the CD.
Excellent. And I think on this note, unless you guys have anything else, I think we can kind of like pull away from this moment here. And yeah, I don't know. Does this feel like, I feel like, Jeff, are you doing move here?
Would you call that giving life advice or suggesting a course of action to a student?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then
Not
I am
good life
taking-
advice.
Yeah.
Hey. Then that means that I am being real with you, and whenever I am real with someone, I mark experience, and you take +1 forward on your next action.
Awesome.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
I will tell you this. I think that, like, normally, I know I just gave it to you, but I think that actually may, depending on how you feel about the bare naked ladies, cure your discouraged condition as well.
I already know what the fallout from this action is going to be, but you all are going to wait to find out what the fallout from this action is going to be.
I cannot wait. This is going to be great. Okay. So we are going to pull out from this scene, and we are going to throw ourselves into Spirit Week for Gravedale High. What does that look like? If you guys want to start, let's start round robin, same thing again. Jeff, what does it look like as you're preparing the homeroom and then kind of coordinating with the rest of the junior faculty on Spirit Week activities?
What's the theme of homecoming this year? Homecoming's got to have a theme.
That is, I will tell you this, that I am going to crowdsource to the players. What is the theme this year, guys?
Also,
theme.
chat.
Yeah, chat.
Chat, if you've got suggestions, throw it out there.
Yeah,
True.
please throw out
Is
some
the
suggestions.
theme like slasher horror, like big final girl, final guy energy?
Okay, all right, I'm throwing this out there.
Like that's who gets crowned. It's not like homecoming king or queen. It's final girl, final guy.
Yes. Okay. Yes. All right.
Yeah, wait, can I also throw out a suggestion about Spirit Week as a whole?
Yeah.
Is the reason that it's called Spirit Week because during this week, the veil between our realm and the next is at its thinnest.
Yes.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
There's definitely posters up in the hallways about ghost costumes and how it's inappropriate
Yes,
and
exactly.
appropriative.
Yeah.
And like,
So then I know exactly.
Don't offend her.
I know exactly what Jeff is doing. Jeff has misunderstood Spirit Week and is like decorating it with a theme. I'm gonna say cowboy theme.
I love it. I
It's
love
putting
it.
up like cheesy cowboy decorations. around
Where
the-
did that misunderstanding happen between veil is thin and final girl, final guy to cowboy? I'm very interested.
So
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah,
I think it was. I know exactly what happened. And Zach, if you want this to be a move, great. I saw a cowboy.
yeah, no,
I
please.
watched what happened was I watched a cowboy walk down the hall and was like, "Oh, I guess it's cowboy." All right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I turned around just in time to see them walk through a wall.
Yeah. Yep. There it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, all right. I think that this is a move. Like, was this a move, Jeff, in the playbook that I built, or?
No, I was thinking of maybe keeping my cool, but I think at this point I don't even know if I necessarily am startled by it. I think I just interpreted it as Spirit Week.
Yeah, you're just like, wow, they're really into this theme. I think we just have a cut where it's just Mr. Tutner and Mr. Charlie, or Mr. Charles rather, who are the mummy history teacher and the creepy doll shop teacher, respectively,
God.
are looking at you. And
Thanks.
I think Mr. Charles just looks up at you and just says, cowboys, that's a really neat theme. How'd you come up with it?
I just feel like it's something for the kids to grab onto. I think it encourages them to really get excited about history class. We're learning some school things. I kind of thought it was a school-wide thing, but I just really want to give these kids a fun experience.
Yeah, history's really neat. I can never die. And at which point,
I'm sorry. I just realized that you called the haunted doll Charles Fucking Chucky. I'm gonna kill you.
You may certainly try.
It's Mr. Chucky to you.
It's
Mr.
Mr. Chucky to you. Thank you very much.
At the
What
line,
was
I
the
can
other
never
name you
die.
Yeah, right.
At which point, Mr. Tutner chimes in and just says, what a coincidence, neither can I. Also, just for the record, for everybody's edification, the original Gravedale High cartoon had Mr. Tutner voiced by Tim Curry.
Fuck off.
Yes.
That's fucking
God
great.
damn, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think they're both...
International treasure.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think at this point they're into the theme of Spirit Week. I think Mr. Charles has basically got the equivalent of a Woody outfit from Toy Story, like overlaid over his normal doll.
Oh wait. Oh, okay.
outfit.
So Jeff like set the theme for everyone.
I will tell you this. I think what happens is this was a faculty meeting, and Jeff, I'm assuming you sold this hard.
Okay.
I commit. I quadrupled down. Even once it was pointed out to me that it was not intended to be cowboy themed, I quadrupled down.
All right. If that's the case, that both teachers are dressed this way or dressed similarly, I think like Johnny passes by like on his way into shop class and like stops and like sees the two of them and is like, kinky. And then just keeps going.
Mr. Tutner's got a bandolier on along with a cowboy hat and just looks at you, Jeff, and says, "One of yours, I take it."
I believe so. Should probably go deal with that.
Hey, if you need any support whatsoever, we're here to help. And you just see this decaying hand laden in ancient linens just rest gently on your shoulder, and then you see a centipede start coming out of one of the wraps towards your shoulder.
I think there's a moment of disgust, and then there's a moment where I kind of put my hand up. I'm like, thank you. I really, as educators, we really have to stick together. Hey, everybody, we're doing something special, and let's not forget why we're doing this. We're doing this for these kids. I'm going to go take care of my kids.
Excellent. All right, so we've captured the theme, cowboys, apparently, for this year. What does you guys building or prepping for Spirit Week cowboy theme look like? And again, we're doing the round robin. So Johnny, we'll start with you again. What does this look like?
I mean, I think I'm just like continuing to try to recruit for my band, and like picking my targets somewhat randomly. Although I do think that I'm like, maybe the only method to my madness is I tend to pick targets that are in proximity to either Bloberella or Tracy, so that they will happen to overhear the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think maybe there would be like a brief montage of me like approaching people over and over and over again and slowly like refining the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So like, when I made it the first time, it was like about as stilted as it could be. But eventually I'm coming up to people and being like, hey, I'm in Darkophagus. Maybe you've heard of us. We're looking for some new members. How do you feel about rocking with the hardest band at Gravedale?
Okay. I love this. I think I want you to...
And I do this, like, I sort of tilt my head down a little bit, and I talk through my curtain of bangs to people when I make this pitch.
Okay. All right. I can picture this. This is neat. I want you to roll to turn someone on, because I think you're trying to turn people on to the band.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to use my forward, which will hopefully cancel out my stupid -1 hot. That's a 10.
Oh, all right. Okay. On a 10 up, gain a string on them, and they choose a reaction from below. Okay, so I promise something I think you want, or I get embarrassed and act awkward. So actually, this is for the character. I forgot that you rolled to turn on. So in this case, you meet this guy that you haven't ever seen around the school. He is very much, I think the reason you kind of beelined towards him was because he looks very much like a metalhead.
Okay.
But like he's got this really like broad set of shoulders, and he has like this kind of like wild spiky hair. And I'm literally thinking of a burlier, also kind of like thick-browed version of Eddie from Stranger Things 4. Coincidentally, his name is also Eddie.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's more of like kind of like Eddie from like the like Rob Zombie, kind of like or like I think the White Zombie old like
Wait.
illustrations and all that kind of stuff.
What if it is Eddie who came in through spoilers, the Upside Down, and found
No.
himself in this new school that's definitely geared to his exact aesthetic? And Jeff, is he a part of your D&D group?
Look,
Eddie's the one that stole the group away from me.
Oh.
guys, we could only afford to get the license for Rick Moranis's Gravedale High. I cannot afford Stranger Things numbers, okay? I could barely afford Rick Moranis cameo fees,
So
okay?
It's just a guy that looks vaguely like Eddie, and his name is Teddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. This guy Eddie, he's very burly, very like thick trunked, and he's got like strangling hands where he's got basically these massive like Popeye forearms, and he just looks at you and says, "You're in a band? That's sick. Fucking
Fuck yeah,
love
it is.
bands. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
Me too. Love bands.
What's your sound?"
It's like heavy bass, and there's some drum.
Yeah, drum. Get a
and
kick
some, like,
drum in there.
Really like wrecking guitar, just like some really like make you want to kill yourself kind of guitar.
Oh yeah.
I will say, side note, the reason I approached this guy, you described his spiky hair, that put in my mind Power Man 5000.
Oh yeah.
So that would be my reason for approaching him.
Yeah. Have you heard this song, When Stars Collide? It's really my jam. Yeah, and I think at this point, he says, "So when's practice?"
It's tonight at midnight.
Fucking sweet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he just writes down his information. It's just Eddie, and he gives you a cell phone number as well as email. It's just like, send me all these deets. I am down for midnight practice. Let me just finish up around here with the rest of the normies, and we can fucking rock out.
What instrument do you play?
I can rock a mean bass, brother.
Fuck yeah.
You're gonna feel it in your stomach. It's gonna be amazing. All right. So yeah, and he kind of like goes off. He was like building some, like he was part of this kind of crew that was like building like a old west like prospectors like facade cave over a bank of lockers, and then he's just like, sweet, and then he just kind of takes off. All right, we're gonna move down the line. Tracy, what are you doing as part of this Spirit Week extravaganza?
Tracy is a theater kid as well as a band geek. That's the general vibe. So I suspect there is some sort of I think she's probably working on avoiding as many people as possible. She's had last year was rough. She just doesn't want to talk to anybody. She's just kind of retreating back a little bit. The two people she was crushing on started dating each other, possibly out of spite. Like she's just, I think we see her backstage a lot, prepping all the special effects, quote unquote, and props for the for like the big show in the auditorium.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. So yeah, what are these like? What do you kind of build in this with these props? Like, what are you trying? What look are you going for?
I think so. Is the school fully committed to the cowboy theme?
Jeff, you know what, Jeff? I'm gonna make you roll to turn someone on because I think like you gotta turn them on.
The administration on.
Yeah, gotta turn the administration on to the cowboy theme unless there's a move for it.
-1.
Yeah.
That's an 8. That's an 8.
All right. Okay. They promise something that they think you want. So
I gain a string on the administration.
Yeah, absolutely. You get a string on the monstrous faculty. So yeah, absolutely. Get a string on them. And at that same time, like everybody's pretty sold on this. They're pretty sold on it, Tracy. What is this? Yeah.
I think Tracy's mostly building some big prop Western trees that and hanging them with creepy vines and moss and building a bunch of set pieces for a backdrop for the big final guy, final girl, final wrangler ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Final wrangler, final cowpoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there
wait, I have a
yeah.
Can I throw something in about this cowboy theme?
Yes, please.
Because of the final guy, final girl thing. So can we say that the school accepts the cowboy theme, but Jeff's thinking of like a harmless, innocent, history themed thing. The school is oh, the theme is bloody shootout.
Yeah.
And the last person left at the shootout is homecoming king or queen.
Okay, yeah, it's we're decking this place out like the OK Corral, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
The final two are given a high noon shootout. Are given a high noon duel.
Final two actually
they're crowned, and then they
march 10 paces.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then paintball gun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you this. Yeah, so Tracy, you're building out the props and what is what's going on in your head? What are you trying to stay away from people? What are you are you trying to kind of get in or kind of spy on people? What's kind of what's the
Yeah, I think Tracy doesn't like whatever the fuck George is pulling.
Mm-hmm.
Delbert's insisting on being called Johnny now, which is fucking weird, and he's still being followed around by rats, which, while a convenient snack, are not it's a little much, and best not to talk about Bloberella, because I guess you would become really good at backstabbing when you don't have a back.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, rough.
Or when you're all back.
This time, yeah.
Or when you're bringing sexy back.
Get out.
Excellent. Yeah, you've got all this on your mind, and you just hear the crunch of something that you were working on get stepped on, and you just hear, oops. Oh no. I'm so sorry. What can I was trying to help, and you just see this really thin, really kind of waif looking young man, Hank, just kind of staring at you, just with just I am so sorry painted all across his face as he has stepped in whatever prop work you were working on.
I think this was definitely a very convoluted and gory a cactus with a body spiked on it.
Yeah.
Like this was she was going to town on that. She was doing a lot of heavy dry brushing, and I think he's just stepped in the on the cactus itself and crunched the foam.
Uh-huh.
And I think a little bit of a twitch, like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can just patch that up.
You know what?
Do I think he did it on purpose?
Actually, I will say this. This is kind of like gazing into the abyss. I feel like that. If you want to answer that question,
Okay.
go ahead and roll dark for me.
Okay. Oh, shit. That's a double 6, -1, so 11.
Okay. All right. On a 10 and up, the abyss shows you lucid visions and you take 1 forward to addressing them. So I will tell you this. You take a look at this kid, and I think that your vision, just like because you are on edge and like angered from George, like your vision tinges red, and you size this kid up like he's an oversized steak. Like just not like you're about to devour him, but just like, what is your angle? What's your deal? Why are you fucking this up for me? And I think that there is that instinct in the back of your head as like the kind of like animal kind of first instinct hits, to kind of like, defend your territory and to, just kind of lash out and kind of like warn this person off away from your territory. Your rational side, kind of like the human part of the werewolf, kicks in, and just says, this is an honest mistake. And you get +1 forward to your next action. So what do you do with this knowledge?
Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Tell you what, why don't you go get the spray insulation for me and bring it back and we can make it right.
Okay. I'll be right back. I promise. I'm so sorry again. And he immediately kind of takes off. At the same time, Bloberella, where are you relative to all this action kind of taking place?
I mean, I think because it's homecoming at the same time, like Bloberella's with the cheer squad, just working on, practicing the routine. I also think because she definitely does work with like the party planning committee and everything, she's definitely like organizing the auditorium into basically a ghost corral.
Excellent. Okay. So yeah, you're organizing this into a ghost corral. What does that look like for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, she's only like supervising it. She doesn't do all of the hands-on stuff. That's not really her thing. But it's sort of like moving all the hard work that like Tracy and her team has been doing and then just sort of taking credit for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what the party planning committee is all about, baby.
I was going to say, I think you kind of catch, like, Tracy, you catch wind of this, by the way, that you kind of like hear, I think, Bloberella, do you do this on purpose, or is this like inside of earshot, or is this just something that kind of like catches fire later?
What do you mean by on purpose?
Take that however you will, Tracy, but you find out that Bloberella is taking credit for some of your work. Meanwhile, like, who is this performance for? Like, who is this, like, you're doing this for the committee, but like, what is this for, Bloberella? Like, what is like, what's your kind of your angle here throughout all of this?
My angle is for us to have a good spirit week. And for everyone to have a good time. And for everyone to know that I made sure that we had a good time. Mm-hmm. Obviously. But I'm innocent in all of this because that's just what the party planning committee does, and I'm just a member of that whole committee, and I am mostly out practicing all of my cheers, which are so important for the actual spirit part of the Spirit Week. Because without the cheerleaders there, to help out all of our rip monks, what is this all for?
Yeah, I heard a can I.
Can I throw in a scene with Can I enter a scene with Bloberella?
I would.
I have
Please
a
enter.
wrench.
Step into my office.
Yes.
I have a wrench.
You come in. I'd like to say you come into like we're on like the quad or something, and I'm there with most of the cheer squad. And don't ask how a blob is able to be doing any sort of leaps and jumps, but it is possible in this world. So it's just sort of like, we rip, we roar, we're gonna frickin' score.
Right.
Rip monks, yes we can. We will tear out your spines through your neck and drink your blood.
So where is the? So you're in like the gymnasium doing cheers at the moment.
Sure.
Okay, great. That means that Coach Voorhees has like walked me in. Zach, how is Coach Voorhees walking me into the gym?
Yeah, I think Coach Voorhees has walked you, and you just feel like, I think there's almost like this very soft exploratory kind of like touch on the very top of your shoulder to like slightly guide you, like, and point towards the area of where the cheerleaders are practicing. But when you turn to thank Jason, who is pointing at the practice area, you just realize that he's been staring at you the entire time, just looking down like this.
Beat red in the face. Jeff spins on his heels. Scares over. Yeah, Blobber, I'm looking for the party planning committee. Are y'all the party planning committee?
Yes, we
Great.
are, or I am a part of it.
Great. I have been placed sort of, with the whole cowboy theme. I've kind of been event managing. What do you know about staging a hoedown?
I can't tell if you're insulting me, but I mean, what?
Like an old West timey dance party, bales of hay, and
right, that
jug bands.
I know nothing about that because I live in the 21st century.
Great. Can you learn by Friday? Because we're staging a hoedown, and as the party planning committee, I need y'all to really like oversee the organization efforts.
Ooh, I'd love to, Mr. Jeff, but like that
Great.
sounds
All
so
right,
lame.
I'll see you later. Great.
No,
I'll see you later.
my sarcasm is wasted upon you.
Can I throw fuel on this fire?
Yes, please do. What is this fuel?
I think we see Tracy on the bleachers, and I think she just calls down something along the lines of oh yeah, you're gonna do so great, Bloberella. I mean, you did such a great job. With all of the stuff in the auditorium, that was all your work, right? You're so efficient and good at everything. I'm sure you can do that.
Wait, can you wait? Oh my god, Bloberella, listen, if I'm looking at everything, this is amazing. I've got a lot of ideas. I'm gonna give you my sketchbook. Let me go get it from the car. I got a lot of sketches. We got a lot of sets to build. Everybody, this is gonna be a great spirit week.
Love this for me.
Da, 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 da.
I can already see like the spiraling Scooby-Doo-esque like transition away from that.
I do want to make sure we're focusing on this moment though. Like, so Tracy, you have called out Bloberella in this moment. Jeff, I'm assuming you're not sticking around. You've skedaddled.
I'll stay in the air. Like, I'll stick in the area. Maybe I'm talking to some of the other. Maybe I think specifically to keep me in the scene in case there's any other fun to have here. I have been like talking to some of the other students that have been building things, and periodically just we get a shot of me like looking over my shoulder as Coach Voorhees is just watching.
Yeah, exactly. Just
I guess if we're all in the room together, Johnny's like at the top of the bleachers with his hood up, playing like an unplugged electric guitar, and just like,
Are all the rats just on the bleachers right below you in like a big semicircle, just kind of?
yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they boggling is the question.
Yeah.
Yes, they are boggling.
No,
Definitely.
they're actually they're making like a tiny mosh pit.
Oh my god!
Yes!
A rat mosh pit!
Rat mosh pit. Okay, yes, this is perfect. All right, so as you're
So cute!
as you're noodling on like different spirit chants and also like or preferably your own work, probably you're just like, sure, I'm working on spirit chants or whatever. What does this look like, this confrontation, as Tracy has called you out, Bloberella?
It's fine. I can do whatever. I can work on my cheers and be amazing at that, and also put together this, what is it called? A hoedown? No problem. But I see you.
She
And
points to a
don't forget.
shape
This
with
is
no
like,
eyes.
This is like, I don't think she's saying this out loud. I'm using a monologue token. It's just it's just like a mental like, now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
Yeah, like Tracy, you're getting called out here. I feel like this is a move.
Do I need to keep my cool though? Because that was definitely like,
Yeah.
Tracy laid it down.
I was gonna say, go ahead. I was gonna say, yeah. Bloberella, roll to keep your cool. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
can do that.
Tracy's definitely trying to rile you up.
I know. You want to rile all of this?
Yeah, want to royal
You
that
can't
jelly.
handle this. Yeah, baby, that's a 10.
Okay.
Wow.
In that case, all right. So you've kept your cool. On a 10 up, you keep your cool
It
and
helps
gain
when you don't
insight.
have a face.
Ask the MC about a question about the situation and take 1 forward to acting on that information.
What is her deal?
And this is the question I forward on to you, Tracy. What is her deal, at least from what she can see? Like, give me beyond just surface. It doesn't have to be like the deepest truth, but give me something beyond surface here. What's going on with Tracy?
Tracy's not rattled. Tracy doesn't get very easily rattled. But what is going on is, I would think we used to be best friends, and you can probably, even despite all of the posturing and the unpassive aggressiveness going on, I think Bloberella can probably tell that Tracy is upset about something that is not her, which I imagine is a strike to your own ego to a certain degree. There's something more pressing and upsetting to Tracy than even you taking credit for all of her work.
All right. You heard her. This is not, whatever she is upset about, it is not about you.
Now I have to know. Gossip!
All right. Well, you have this information. What do you do with it?
Well, I'm going to hold on to it for now. Because, while we're in public anyway, I can't be seen. I mean, I can't talk to Tracy the way that I would prefer to have a little heart-to-heart, maybe.
I think as that I think the last thing Tracy does is, again, very out of character, just like from the bleachers.
Yeah.
And then gets up and leaves.
Now, Bloberella's got to figure out how to make a frickin' hoedown.
Delbert, as you are kind
It's
of
Johnny.
like, it's Johnny now. Johnny, as you are noodling on the guitar, you, I think, lift your eyes up and just looking through the through your bangs, you see Solomon kind of moving to who is actually talking with Sadako. Both of them are wearing cowboy hats and just these big faux boots and like kind of like trying them on. And it seems like Solomon is like flirtatiously almost kind of like nudging Sadako a little bit, and she kind of like stutter steps like kind of like an out of like frame like couple of stills, but it seems like to be not less intense than when you encountered it and more like kind of like almost flirtatious in the movements that are captured in these frames. What do you do?
I think I am constantly in this like avoidant process, where I'm like just going to the next thing to avoid my most recent humiliation.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually think I would be watching that for a while I'm absently strumming, and then I would look and see like what is Tracy doing.
Tracy didn't leave, right?
Tracy's leaving. This is a long protracted down the bleachers, like to the far side of the room, past Mr. Jeff, and past the gym teacher. She is making her exit, which is different than leaving. I guess I should have specified.
Okay.
Do you like? Let me ask it this way. I'm trying to think. Would an adult look at you and be like, "Oh, she's probably upset"?
I think an adult would look at Tracy and immediately clock that is a teenager that is on their way to do some trouble, do some crime. Very big. I'm about to go smoke a cigarette or play hooky or do something more dramatic than that. Vandalize some school property. Big vandalizing energy.
I think I see this. I think if as you pass Mr. Jeff, I kind of look in your direction in the middle of talking to some kids. I run by, I pause in front of Coach Voorhees. Keep a handle on things here. There's a great group of kids you got here, but I gotta, and like runs off, gives one quick glance back over to Coach Voorhees and Tracy, is it Tracy?
Yeah.
Hey, just noticed you kind of stormed off back there. Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. I just, if I know things are busy with Spirit Week. If you needed to talk to somebody, if there's anything you want to talk about.
Oh no, I'm not busy at all. I haven't done anything. I just watched Bloberella make all of the stuff in the auditorium. It's fine. It's fine.
Really? Because I saw you working really, really hard on all of those sets, and they looked so good. And so I want to make sure that I want to make sure you're taking time for you.
You're
with all
new.
the hard work
it must
that
have
you've
been
been
somebody
doing.
else. I am just I'm just around, and I should go.
Okay, I just if you want to talk about anything, I'm around.
I appreciate that, Mr. Jeff. You should choose like it's weird to introduce yourself as
I
Jeff
went with
to students.
I mean, for the record, I went with Jeff. Everybody else added Mr. That. I'm not. But
yeah,
I
it's
put
'cause
point
it's weird,
taken.
dude.
All right.
Okay, cool. Bye.
Kids.
And I think at this point where you kind of get sent off, so just a quick question, was this a move? Were you trying to shut down Jeff, it sounds like?
I think so. I think that was I'm not upset. You can't tell what my feelings are. I am unknowable. That was an I am unknowable.
All right. Because there's two moves. There's either shut someone down or run away.
I think this is shut someone down.
Cool. Roll cold.
Yes. I'm so good at that.
I love this game. Let's do it. Let's see what you get.
That'll be a total of 4. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So
I rolled 2 6s to see whether somebody was genuinely sorry about stepping on something, and then garbage from here on
Yeah,
out.
right.
yeah, I will tell you this. Are you rolling? Are you running or moving away to see your work, or where are you going? Where are you leaving to?
I don't think she has a plan. I think she was planning on. I think her original intention was to show up in the gym and just kind of relax a little bit after doing all that stuff, and maybe mess with Bloberella a little bit, and then she wants to be cool, and both in the like social sense, but also in like the sense that she has like she's not really good with her emotions, and I think she is right now mad at herself for being not having any chill.
Okay. Well, I will tell you this. As you exit the gymnasium, a very strong, very acrid smell of smoke fills your nostrils and catches your preternatural senses. But before we kind of follow that up, we are going to cut very quickly back to Jeff. As you're kind of like walking away from, bless you.
I did that. I usually can't do that. I made myself sneeze on purpose, and it was super hard. You're welcome, acting baby.
I am walking away. I'm kind of slinking. I am undoing the tie. I am undoing my bow tie.
And as you are undoing the bow tie, you just feel once again that iron grip of an iron hand on your shoulder. Ah, yes, Mr. Stormer. How are you liking Spirit Week thus far?
It's I gotta admit, I was a little bit wary at first. I wasn't quite sure I understood it first, but nowadays I'm enjoying it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun.
I'm so glad to hear that. Wouldn't you be glad to hear that as well, Mr. Hunnam? And there is a completely bald-headed, mustachioed gentleman in a khaki blazer who is carrying around a clipboard and ostensibly a pen, just looking. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Seems good to hear. And he just is kind of like trying not to make eye contact with Headmistress Crone. At which point, yes, Mr. Hannum is a representative of the school district. He's making sure that we are moving beyond our probationary status, as it were. Isn't that right, Mr. Hannum? Yeah.
And here I thought the monsters were the scary ones.
Yeah. And, just, I think that there is this moment where she looks with this really kind of like terrible, kind of like with a set of teeth that looks like a churchyard, just kind of like tries to smile at him before turning back to you and kind of rolling her eyes. Anyway, I was hoping maybe I could foist Mr. Hunnam on you. I mean, have you show Mr. Hunnam around the grounds, if you would.
I would enjoy nothing less. I think we've got some really fun Spirit Week plans in the works, Mr. Hunnam. I think you're gonna love what you see. Let me show you around. Let me show you what some of the kids have been working on. It's really, really amazing stuff.
Yep. Oh, okay. And smash cut back to Tracy. You smell smoke in your nostrils as something smells very strongly of smoke. And where there is smoke, at least with this strong a scent, you know that there is fire, and a very big one at that. What do you do?
Sorry, was that me?
That was you.
Oh, I didn't realize. I missed the cutback.
Oh, sorry. Smash cut back.
I was just like, oh, somebody else is smelling it too. I think, yeah, Tracy sneezes all of a sudden and goes, can she tell where it's coming from?
Absolutely. It is coming from, where were you working on your props? I'm pretty sure that's where it was coming from.
Oh, these motherfuckers. This backstage of the auditorium / yeah. Like the stage / I was picturing like on the stage itself proper, kind of turned into a workspace during this time period.
Okay, so you get to. Are you following the scent?
Yeah, I think there's a undignified amount of.
Yeah, absolutely. As you are sniffing and snuffling, you realize as the smell gets stronger that it is coming from a raging fire inside of the auditorium of Gravedale High. And Gravedale High is this very old stone foundationed edifice, and those bones will remain intact, but that this is a pretty fierce fire, and anything caught in like the interior is pretty much toast, among which are your work on the props and on the spirit floats.
Does she hear anybody else or just the fire? Does she smell? Is there any indication there's anybody else here?
Do you have a move of any sort, or
I have yes, in fact I do. It's so funny you should ask. Let me tell you about my move, Heightened Senses. When you rely on your animal instincts to make sense of a charged situation, which just does feel like a charged situation.
I'd say that's fair.
Roll with dark. On a 10 and up, ask MC 3 questions from below and take +1 forward. On a 7 and 9, ask 1 question from below and take 1 forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll with dark, my friend.
Okay, fingers crossed. Don't be another crappy one. And we're okay. Okay, we're doing okay. It's 10 minus 1, so a 9.
Okay, so ask me 1 question.
Is there anybody else here? Oh wait, that's not from this thing below. Well, I don't think what poses the biggest threat to me is relevant. Who's in control here?
Okay. So what I will tell you then is I will tell you who is in control, but also who is out of control in this moment, which is you see a couple of people leaving the area in a very quick hurry. First off, you see Doozer, the Medusa that you encountered in the classroom. She is running away along with Busby the fly person. But also you see George taking off at a clip, not very far behind him, who spares a look over his shoulder. But most importantly, you hear what is out. You know who is out of control in this situation. Who in this case, you hear a weak and faint cry of help from Hank.
Oh, this little punk ass. Tracy will run towards the nearest fire alarm and pull it.
Okay.
And then charge towards that cry of help. I think there's very much energy. But she honestly, this is a nice break from all the this is comfortable doing things, working things, using her hands, using her abilities, not talking to people.
Okay. So I will tell everybody this, which is basically all of you all at once, as soon as she pulls it, you hear the fire alarm reverberate across the entire school. Just because this is an interconnected system, one building that pulls the alarm is going to resound in a different part of the same building, which this massive edifice is, as it contains all of the different pieces of the school. You all hear the fire alarm. Jeff, Delbert, or Johnny rather, and Bloberella, you hear the fire alarm going off. And at that point, you hear kind of like a tittering from some of the other school monsters and kids, kind of like sheltering, or some of them have begun sheltering in the gymnasium. What do you guys do?
Aha!
Well.
Regular drills, a key component of valid safety and a sign of a school that has things under control.
And at which point you'd hear Headmistress Crone just say, yes, wait, no, she's gone. You just Mr.
I'm saying
Hunnam.
that to Mr. Hunnam.
Yeah, Mr. Hunnam's like, yeah. I was gonna say,
I'm gonna get fired and I'm gonna get murdered.
Johnny, I think you had something you were gonna say.
Yeah. So a while back, like a minute ago, I was like watching Tracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that when Tracy sees these people running away and then like heads toward the fire and toward Hank,
Mm-hmm.
It would cut back to those people running away, and then suddenly from off screen, and you can make me roll for this if you want to, but from off screen, Johnny comes flying at George to tackle him.
Okay, all right. You are lashing out with physical violence, my friend. Please
I am.
roll volatile.
Volatile's the thing I have 2 in, so
Excellent.
let me get one thing right.
Yeah.
I also am going to use my +1 forward.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
That's a 12. I mean, it's a 9 + 3.
Okay. On a 10, you deal them harm and they choke up momentarily before they react. I will tell you this, on a 12 though, you are like, what does this look like? You react with such force that it catches this kid really quickly. What does this look like as Johnny does this?
I mean, Johnny's intent here is not primarily to hurt George, although if that happens, that's fine. The goal is to like stop and detain him. So I think he like tackles George, and then this horde of rats also like crawls over him to sort of keep him pinned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe sort of encases him up to the neck because it is like 60 rats. And Johnny's like, "Where you going, bud?"
As you do this, he kind of chokes up momentarily. He before they react, you have this moment, and he looks at you and he's just, "What are you doing, you psychopath? I was running away." He seems to be reaching for something.
I think I don't really like, I don't ever really like directly communicate with the rats. They just sort of seem to know my intentions. I think I would say that like several of them bite that arm.
Yeah. You watch as the rats, Mobius and Azazel, take a big chunk out of his arm, and he immediately pulls out and then immediately drops what looks like a chef's knife.
I immediately grabbed that knife.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, that belongs to me. You're going to regret this.
Now it belongs to me.
You are going to regret this. And we smash cut
So
away.
weird. I always thought you were such a nice guy.
And he looks at you with the eyes, the dead, unfeeling eyes of a shark. We're gonna,
I actually am gonna use uncanny voices here. So the way that works is you can give, in this case, Zalaman.
Mm-hmm.
You can give Zalaman a string in order to realize a secret about someone you're talking to.
Okay.
The owner of that character will reveal one of their secret fears, secret desires, or secret strengths.
Mm-hmm.
They choose which.
Okay. Do you roll for that?
No, the cost of it is that I'm giving Zalaman a string on me.
Okay. So Zalaman, you just hear his voice in your mind say, "Oh, you know how to pick them." And what floods your mind is the fact that George is a cannibal. And that he eats other people, and he's a monster on the inside and not on the outside.
I think I look at him, I give him this like smug, knowing look, and I'm just like, funny enough, turns out you're pretty fucking metal.
And we cut there. Bloberella, are you doing anything as everything is kind of like coming apart here?
I think that if we scoop back just a touch in time, Bloberella would go after Tracy because she meant to like have a little heart to heart. And not knowing that like Tracy's clearly sniffing for fire or danger, she's just unwittingly following her. And I think at first she's just like about to come, like bursts into the room being like, "What the hell are you?"
Just fire everywhere at this point.
Oh my blob.
Tracy, at this point, are you like trying to drag Henry out of here? What are you doing?
Can Tracy see him?
Yeah, he is under debris. Whatever like strength it's gonna take, you are going to whatever it is gonna take. It is not gonna be human in nature. You know for a fact.
Oh yeah. Tracy will absolutely just dying for an excuse to shift into Max. Will begin the transformation process to turn into a full ass werewolf.
All right, so you are embracing and becoming your darkest self.
Yeah.
So
Tracy, there's already fire everywhere. The last thing we need is a werewolf.
I think you see her kind of look over his shoulder at you and just kind of and just go to say something, and you watch as like the bone begins to crack and elongate and the muscles ripple, and it's kind of I think you get a would you
I don't know about that. What was that?
Why don't you just use the fire extinguishers? And like she's gonna like ooze her way over to go grab one of them and try to start turning it on and like getting some of this under control.
The visual image of a blob.
Well, you have a moment.
I was about to say, I think I need a description of her manipulating a fire extinguisher.
I mean, like her body is malleable, so it's like she can have like opposable gelatinous thumbs when she needs them. So she just like takes it and turns it on. And it is just a shapeless blob holding it. I can't stress that enough. And she's like frantically going around trying to put this fire out while you're having a moment.
Yeah. Max, now that you are transformed, what does it look like as you are pulling this pinned kid out of the rubble?
So yeah, I think are we following which school of thought are we following? Are we following clothes slurp into body magic bullshit? Or are we following I personally like the body horror of all the muscles, all the bones breaking and all the muscles tearing and reforming.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, so I think it's real nasty.
Oof.
It's real nasty, and you just watch as like this clothing just explodes into shreds. And you see this just absolutely hulking beast of a werewolf just kind of do that kind of weird not quite all fours, not quite bipedal run, and then just charges straight into the fire and just yeets a huge piece of burning scenery from like what was the front of a saloon out into the auditorium area, and just literally just snags up this kid in one hand.
Absolutely. And then just like bounding out of the flames, just this massive lupine form, as Bloberella, you are trying to hose down the flames. It is at this point, I was going to say, is anybody wanting to do anything before they try to beat a retreat from this scene?
I think, Tracy's just dropping him off. Probably, I assume, out near where Johnny's currently got George encased in rats.
Okay.
Bold of you to assume that Bloberella's beating a retreat. Fire cannot kill a blob.
Fire cannot kill a blob. I will tell you this, though. You are dealing with a fire extinguisher. I know that there's not necessarily like a freezing component to a fire extinguisher. It's all kind of like anti kind of like flame retardant material. Is there kind of like a fear of that kind of material on your own form?
No, I think that
she's probably
Bloberella...
concerned about getting cloudy.
Maybe just a little, but I mean that'll go away in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's more concerned with making sure the school doesn't burn down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do me a favor. This is gonna be keep your cool. I think that this is, if you do well on this, you can save as much of the auditorium as you can. If you don't do well, I am gonna have to make a hard move.
All right. Well, how does 2 6s on the dice sound?
Okay,
so that'll be a 13.
13. Wow. Describe for me how you start putting out this raging fire long enough for the local fire department to arrive and save the rest of the building.
I think Bloberella is just able to, I mean, again, that shapeless mass that she is actually kind of helps in this situation. I think she's kind of able to smother some of the fire. She can just stretch herself out, and she's also using the fire extinguisher on one end, and is like just trying to like get over it as much as possible and subsume it. So, it's a little spicy, but it'll be okay.
Since she's not limited by limbs, is she just using like a bunch of fire extinguishers?
As many as I can find in the auditorium. I imagine there's like depending on how big it is, I imagine there's like maybe 2, maybe 3. And then also using my own body. It's good. It's fine. I mean, I definitely don't care, but she does. That's my secret.
Excellent. So as you put out as much of the flame as you can, you suddenly see a giant stream of water shoot over your shoulder onto kind of like a lot of these combusting edifices within the auditorium, and you see local fire department officials working and firefighters working to put out the blaze.
Native mermen.
Yeah, no. These are actually humans.
That's so boring.
Seem to be associated with the district. But I will say that guiding their efforts is, I believe, Gil Waterman, who is
Waterman.
Who is
wow.
Yeah, Gil Waterman. Who is one of the other physical education staff, is kind of directing people, but also at the same time staying far enough away from the blaze so as not to dry out. This kind of like black monster of the lagoon, shape of water type looking creature, just kind of like, you want to concentrate it right? Yeah. No, I'm not going to get closer. And yeah, you successfully save most of the auditorium. and I think we cut back to Jeff with Mr. Hunnam, who's kind of like, I think has found his way to like the source of the commotion. And at which point Headmistress Crone runs up. What's going on? What has happened?
Rehearsals for the hoedown?
And that is where we're going to end our episode. Guys, thank you so much. This is great. Thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to and watching the very first in our 4-part Frights of Fandom. So guys, we're going to just do some quick shout outs and plugs. But thanks to everybody for tuning in. Let's start with Chris. Any shout outs or plugs?
Not yet. I mean, I have some stuff in the works that I'll be plugging someday. I don't know. Maybe what I'll plug is the real life education system, which has a lot of the same problems that you've seen featured here tonight. Support your local public school.
Listen, everybody, we had some fun here
tonight.
+1 to that. Absolutely. Hopper, shout outs and plugs.
It's me. What's up? Still me, still Hopper. I am going to plug one other stream that I'm on, and then one that I'm currently running. The stream that I'm on also happens to be GM'd by our very own Zach, and guess who else is on that? Also Marcy. And guess what? We just won a big ol' Best Ensemble Cast Award, the award-winning stream, The Hole in the World. And it's pretty dope. It's an Invisible Sun actual play that airs every other Sunday here on Manapod Studios. And we will be returning from our hiatus this Sunday. So great time to jump in and find out the insane hijinks of the surreal, bizarre, sometimes confusing, but sometimes so crystalline clear world of Invisible Sun. And so come check out The Hole in the World. And that's at 8 p.m. EST on every other Sunday. And then if you would like more of just me, because, hey, people like bad things. And that's okay. You can follow me over on Twitch TV /the_legend_tree. The Legend Tree. And I am currently we just aired our 5th episode of the Dark Visions game, which is the sweetest people I know, like the sweetest, kindest, most compassionate people I know, playing the most fucked up characters. It is a gritty, evil campaign set in a high lethality frontier, old forgotten land. In my homebrew world. We play D&D 5e, and it's a lot of fun. And since I'm actively trying to kill all the players, and definitely not their player characters, not them, every stream could be the last. So check that out. And we stream once a month, every Thursday at 8 p.m. So
awesome.
That's it. That's all I got.
Jeff, shout outs and plugs.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Stormer. I am the Great Clown Pagliacci of Tabletop RPG Podcasting. I did not say that earlier because I needed to set out that bit. The thing that I will shout out, if we are shouting out awards and trophies and things, is a podcast called Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast, which is a slice of life actual play about a magical bed and breakfast, a heartless witch, and all the many people that have made their home inside. And I have... fuck, this thing is so heavy. I have this thing that I get to hold up and celebrate. It won Best of the Best in Fiction Podcasting at the New Jersey Web Fest 2022. And you can learn more about Yazeba's podcast at tinyurl.com/Yazeba's podcast. Or you can follow my work at jeffstormer.com or follow me on Twitter at PartyOfOnePod.
Love it. Awesome. Finally, Marcy, do you have any shout outs or plugs?
Maybe. Well, hi everyone. I am Marcy. I am Bloberella. I am so many people now. I'm a writer and editor by day, and once again by night I play amazing characters with amazing players. And Flights of Fandom is going to be doing Gravedale High every Tuesday through the month of October. So come on back next week as we continue this absolute madness. And then I can definitely tell you in November, we're going to be doing X-Men every Tuesday of that month. So we've got a full schedule this fall coming your way. Every other Monday you should tune in because Hopper and I are also on another little show that you may have heard about. It's called Streets of Gotham. And we're doing like a big special right now. We were doing like 3 episodes back to back. So next Monday, we're actually doing another episode. You can catch up on the one we did yesterday, which was totally normal and fine. I just wanted to see what you do.
Something about the way you said that.
Don't worry about it. If you want to know what I'm talking about, well, you can watch the VOD, and it will probably be up on YouTube. If not this week, then the following week. There's just so much stuff here. Hopper already covered The Hole in the World. That's on Sunday. I'm very excited to be back doing that. You should catch up on not just that show, but all of our shows, most of which are on our YouTube channel. Go check that out, Manapod Studios on YouTube. And if you ever want to play with us, join our Discord, learn more about us, send us an email if you ever want to play a game. Have I done it? Did I cover everything? There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
You got this. You did it. Well done. I think I don't have any other shout outs other than shout outs to all of our chat members. Anar Chitty, Coldrake, Whitland Timbas, as well as a couple other folks. Fantasy Animal Vegan, welcome back. So glad to hear from you guys. Please, we love it when you guys get a chance to chime in. So keep on doing it. We can't wait to have you next week. In the meantime, guys, be well and stay frightening. Good night.